that's kind of the vision that I have for these people when they come inside an organization. They may be starting out as a marketing assistant right now for you, but they help you turn that thing around, and they have the right aptitude for right leadership and things like that. These people could be running your departments for you with their own teams while you're sitting at a beach and sipping at that whatever that drink might be, right?
Welcome to Show Me the Nuggets, where each week Joe chats with world-class entrepreneurs to find out the key principles, strategies, and processes that lie behind their outstanding achievements. Now, your host, the no-bullshit serial entrepreneur, Joe Troyer.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Troyer, and welcome to another episode of Show Me Your Nuggets. Just kidding, Show Me the Nugget. Today, we have on a very special guest, Azhar. I met Azhar, I feel like it was right before COVID hit, so going on 2+ years ago, in a mastermind of a very, very high level, 7-figure and above marketing agencies. And in chatting with him and his team, I'm like, man, these guys are really turned on. I've been trying to work with them since, but they've just been so busy. And we finally got him on the podcast. Azhar and his team run a company, as you see on his shirt right there, called RepStack. And they help give you guys, specifically marketing agencies, talent, right? Virtual sales assistant, let's say account managers, marketing assistants, and we're going to get into that big time. We'll give Azhar a chance to really pitch their services, but we're going to go deep on finding talent, finding good talent. And I want to really peel back the onion and talk to him about, because he works with so many agencies, like what's working right now in the market, what are his concerns, and what does he see like the market moving? So we got a lot to cover. Without further ado, man, Azhar, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Joe. It's a pleasure being here, man. You guys are doing an amazing thing. I'm so excited as I research what you guys have built at PPC Ad Lab. It's an amazing tool, fits right into what so many of our clients are trying to do on the digital marketing agency side. That's, as you know, kind of our niche. That's our target market. And that's who I am, 13-year digital marketing agency owner right here in Calgary, Alberta. And kind of, RepStack was kind of came out of my agency, my struggle of working and talking to a lot of my agency owner friends and things like that. So, like Kevin Hart says in his first book, my overnight success is a 11-year-old story, right? Or 11-year overnight success. So that's kind of how, you can sum it up for RepStack as well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, everybody always just sees the end result, right? They don't see the struggle every single day, the work put in every day for a decade plus, right? Almost 2 decades, a decade and a half. So before we get too deep into things, can you give everybody just a quick heads up or a quick introduction to what RepStack is, who they serve, what you guys do?
Yeah, so as I mentioned that, running my own agency, and then finally a trend started in my life where, I'm like, the hell with just doing everything by figuring out a loss and then figuring things out. Let's start focusing on learning. And I think one of your questions is going to be about that as well. So once I started investing in learning on the personal side and then also on the coaching side, some breakthrough ideas came to me. I knew I've already put in the work, 10, 12 years inside the agency world. I understood what needed to happen once I had invested in my coaching services and learning. So after that, RepStack was born, our first client, and the first person we placed. Things started moving really, really fast. And really fast, we figured out that we don't need to be doing everything for every single digital marketing agency. What we wanted to focus was, and what I really struggled in my, as an agency owner, and I knew a lot of friends who were, they get to the 6-figure mark in their revenues. And somehow, even though things are going good, they're delivering amazing results, they're just not able to hit that 7-figure mark. And when I peeled the onion, it came to us that the reason is that as agency owners, we're tending to do our own marketing, even though that should be, as digital marketing agency owners, we should be eating our dog food. And, very few of us tended to do at that mark. And then we're our own salespeople. We're going and closing those deals. And once those deals are done, we're also doing the account management for those clients, and we're trying to retain these people. So it's like a crazy vicious circle. And the agency owner kind of becomes a glorified salesperson inside the agency, an account manager, or just a marketing assistant in the business, and they're just going through this circle. And that's where that vicious circle was. So we figured that we're just going to stick to these three roles, because these are really critical to the growth of any agency. Just the prerequisite is, which I know, like if I was able to do it for the last 13 years, the fulfillment side, I'm thinking that you guys are already kicking ass on the fulfillment side. You guys got that covered, how to push out, amazing ad campaigns and websites and things like that. It's time to now get going, right? Grow. And we figured that putting this marketing assistant, this sales assistant, and this account manager in place is actually going to save you money in the first year and going forward if you are doing all of these tasks yourself as the agency owner. So that's what we focused on. And the more we've drilled down, Joe, over the year, we've seen that the better success we're getting with this thing. And we're at a point where, inside, I think this is our 16th month operating. And the interest in our service, fingers crossed, is at a record-breaking level right now. And we foresee a good year towards the end of this year as well. So yeah, that's kind of the short and sweet that went on for a little bit, but I just get excited about RepStack, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're in the digital marketing world for 10 plus years. You start investing in coaching and outside help and masterminds and self-help. And you have this kind of defining moment and things take off. I'd love to say, like, as entrepreneurs, but as anybody, like we don't know what we don't know. Right. And like when we can get around people that have been there, that have done that have hit the levels that we want to hit, have done the things that we want to do, all of a sudden we gain clarity on what it is that we don't know. And even if we don't understand the whole thing, we can then start to do research and to figure it out. But we have these aha moments. So I'm curious, like, what were one of those or two of those aha moments, those defining moments where you went from being in this business, doing six figures to boom, like inside of whatever it was, 16 months, you guys go to seven figures. Like, that's crazy. So like, I know my audience will kill me if I don't get this right. Like, dig into this.
That's an awesome question, dude. That's an awesome question. And it's really hard to define that. But sometimes, like, especially, I'm really blessed into the journey that we're going through right now. And for this to have happened, I can definitely go back and find that, identify that aha moment for you. And this goes back to, 80-20, where, what are the 20% of the things that you're doing that are getting the most results? And I would have to say that, just to get the ball rolling for RepStack, we signed our joint venture. And that's how RepStack got started. So, my coach, Josh Nelson, is always saying that you're just one joint venture away from a seven-figure agency. And he's really true to that, and we're a testament to that, because it happened to us. We had our first client that turned into the first joint venture, and our second client turned into the second joint venture. So we had two right off the gates, and that got us the momentum. And yeah, that was a defining moment, man. That first VA, we call our virtual associates, not assistants. He's still employed with our first client, and he's gone from an appointment setter to a sales executive right now, closing 5-figure deals on a daily basis for the client.
Yeah, man, that's freaking awesome. So I'm really curious, like, did you set out with like this grand vision, right? Like, these first two, I'm going to get them. They're going to be the perfect clients. They're going to be the perfect JVs, and they're just going to blow this thing up? Or like, did it kind of happen?
No. So, funny thing is about vision, I think as a lot of us entrepreneurs, we are dreamers and we like to have these big, lofty goals. And that's amazing, man. I identify with so many people like you, Joe, who are great visionary thinkers and who do these amazing things just by thinking about a future and then making it happen. And that's part of our jobs as well as company leaders. But when it comes down to just start doing and landing that first client, you don't have to be so strict about that particular vision, man. You just need to get that client. And, and trust me, like we've gone through clients where we've, broken our entire systems, bend over backwards to get these people in. And turns out that we don't even want to work in that particular space, let alone with that particular client, right? So it's going to happen, especially early on, but that shouldn't stop us from taking imperfect moves, right? So get going, close that first deal, even if it's project work right now, get it done, close it, get the revenue in the door. And as you start getting the revenue in, you'll figure out how to streamline the service offering that you're going out to market with.
100%, man. So, can you give us a little peek of what things look like right now? Like, how many clients do you have? How many then, positions are filled, or how many people are on the team because of your clients? What's the average number of people that each client has? Just some high level information like that.
Yeah, so we're just over 100 clients right now. We are approaching 200 people inside our organization in about 16 months. So that's been a complete mind blown for me, because 13 years I've been a one-man show and working with contractors, and all of a sudden, close to 200 people that you're responsible for as a CEO. So, that's been a mind bender. And then in terms of our average client has 1.25 associates with them right now. Some of them have 4 or 5 people. A lot of them have 2, 3, and a lot of them are just starting out, and they start out usually with a marketing assistant. So that's kind of how we're spread out. Revenues are on the rise. We should be ending this year with multiple 7 figures. In our first year of operation, we hit the 7-figure run rate, and we're on track to doing over 3 million in revenue this year. So the run rate part. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're foreseeing. I think there's a huge potential in the field that we're in. Working specifically with agency owners. Right now, we're focused on digital marketing agencies, but any agency that has a retainer-based model. There's real estate agencies, there's other agencies. They might be separate verticals for us, but the type of person we're bringing in on the marketing side, the sales side, account manager side, these are common to any agency model out there. So hopefully in the future, we'll be thinking about something like that. And then the eventual goal, like you talked about on the vision side, eventual goal is to turn this a company, or we're kind of helping our clients out with placements right now, but turn this into a platform where managers, entry-level managers from great schools across the world can come on, build out their entire careers inside agencies in sales, marketing, and accounts, and clients from all around the world can come to the platforms, sort of like Upwork for just for agencies and talent for agencies.
Man, I love that. That's an awesome vision. Upwork for agencies. That's cool. So let's talk about the main positions, because you said something important, and I want to make sure we don't gloss over it. You guys got really serious about a couple of positions within a marketing agency and saying, we're not going to cover everything, right? We're going to get really specialized. We're really going to go after 3. I think it was 3 positions. Can you tell us about those positions?
Yeah, so those 3 positions, again, going back to the basics, the prerequisite of our clients were thinking that these guys are already crushing it when it comes down to fulfillment. So, and we did do this, and this is where our understanding and learning came from, by filling out some of these positions for our clients and realizing that that's not what we want to do. We don't want to place a website expert or a WordPress expert or a PHP coder with a client. There's a lot of other options already out there. We're trying to really put this virtual associate who's really an entry-level manager inside an agency. They're going to be able to start out in these 3 key roles. The marketing, because I know if you're in 6 figures wanting to go 7 figures, chances are that your marketing is not set up the way it should be. especially for a digital marketing agency. So that marketing assistant comes in, starts doing this full time for you, 160 hours a month consistently, instead of us wearing multiple hats. So that's the first person that we identified, the marketing assistant. They can start building out the outreaches, and there's a lot of other campaigns that we've identified for our clients they should be working on. So, it usually takes the marketing assistant about 60 to 90 days to have some for first few of these campaigns up and running and some results coming through the door. So usually at this point, 90 days to 6 months in, now you're ready for a sales assistant where this person comes in. And this is not our grandfather's cold callers who are coming in. We give them throw a list at their face and tell them to just dial like crazy. This is very sophisticated, and for the people we're working with who are digital marketing agencies, we're already doing sophisticated things for our clients. It just makes sense that we do the same thing for ourselves. So when your sales assistant, the type of sales assistant that we've identified, this person comes in, and this person is again, a college graduate and business degree in marketing, maybe understands what digital marketing is in this day and age. And they come in and, they're these sweet talkers and, they come in and they start booking appointments for their clients now, because the marketing assistant, if they've done their job, there's some outreach campaigns going on. If you have some budget, there's some opt-ins that you're running on Facebook and Google and things like that. And you have all these inbound inquiries coming in, people opening your emails and things like that. Now you situate this sales assistant in, and this person starts booking appointments on the closer's calendar. So this stuff starts happening as clockwork. And now you start closing more deals, hopefully between 3 and 5 new deals every month. And you get to a point where you're starting to cross 10 clients who are on monthly retainers. Now you're going to want to insulate yourself from the last part of this agency day to day, which is managing clients yourself. So, a lot of times I've seen this, and myself included. I'm walking at the mall on a Friday night with my wife in a good mood, and this client calls in, true story. And, there's a shouting match going on that, there's a T missing on the About Us page, and it needs to get fixed right now, right? So as agency owners, we've been there, done that. But now, as with the help of the marketing assistant and the sales assistant, the agency is on target to grow towards your 7 figures. It's not going to go there as long as you are still doing the account management for your agency. You can't handle all of these clients at the same time and still make sure that you hit 7 figures. You need to insulate yourself, put a person in like an account manager who loves doing this. It's their full-time jobs. Again, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month. This person's sole responsibility is to manage, if you have 20, 30 clients right now, usually one account manager inside a digital marketing agency, 15 to 25 clients, they should be able to manage for you. And this person's sole responsibility is retention for you. So now, now you're not getting that phone call. You can continue to grow to 7 figures and beyond. So that's why these 3 key roles are so important. And every single digital marketing agency owner who is inside 6 figures right now, if they can start placing these people, I think the road to 7 figures becomes really, really easy and really fast.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. I like the order that you gave, right? Marketing assistants, then sales assistants, and account managers. I'm curious, like, how did you come up with that structure? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, that's again from 13 years struggling through it myself. So anytime I wanted to grow my agency, the first thought that came to me, like to a lot of my friends and listeners, is that, okay, let's get a cold calling service. Let's get a lot of appointments. Let's rah with sales, right? But it doesn't work like that, man. I've tried it several times and it just doesn't work like that. Think of it like we're digital marketing agencies. We're doing marketing for other people. And we're skipping that vital part, which is the marketing part, and we're moving directly over to sales. And what are we going to sell? marketing is going to define your offer for you, right? It's going to do so many things for you. And by the time it starts coming down to the sales, it becomes a lot easier. So that's, trial and error, Joe, doing it myself, getting slapped around over the years that this is not the way, doing it again, this is not the way. And then finally, when I got a chance to see our clients do it, the right ones were always people who had these amazing marketing strategies set up for their own digital marketing agency, these amazing funnels, whether it's a simple giveaway or a book or whatever it is, webinars constantly, podcasting, proper email outreach. There's so many proper ways of doing this. And once that was taken care of, then these marketing assistants come in, and it's a devil's playground for the right person in there, man. Like I told you, our first person that we placed at RepStack is still employed with our first client. And that dude is crushing it right now in terms of the bonuses and the commissions he's making in US dollars while sitting in Pakistan. It's just, it's a warm and fuzzy feeling for me, for sure, because that's what it's all about right now.
It makes a ton of sense that you've structured things that way. I've always started with like an SDR, helping send cold emails and respond to them and things like that are easily replicatable, but gets me out of it so I can focus on the next step, which is sales, right? Yeah. And then focus on account management and then pull myself out of each. But you're so right. Like the viewpoint, I think, is refreshing because like in my last agency that I built by myself, I went from 0 to 7 figures, right? $1 million run rate in 4 months, right? And it was fast and it was furious, but like there's so much lost opportunity everywhere. To your point, I was doing no marketing internally as a company. I was a sales organization, right? Marketing agency. And like, to be honest, like if somebody didn't buy on the first call, we never followed up with them again, right? I had webinars, I had no podcast, I had no tripwires, I had nothing after the initial consultation or the initial conversation to engage that lead and try to convert them again. So I think it's really cool to, in that business, what would have happened if I would have had a marketing assistant?
Man, tremendous, dude. Tremendous. Those marketing things, I'll tell you that, and this time around, we did this completely differently, right? Because we had our clients in front of us, and we would have been, like, I don't know what to call myself if we didn't do it this way, but we did it the right way. We started out with a person in our marketing department who was just an assistant back in February 2021. And this person is a director of marketing with a 6-person team right now inside our marketing. And, right now with everything that we've got in play just right now, and we're just getting started this year, like I said, we're at 110 strategy calls booked for us this month of February, and we still have two days to go in February, and that's a record-breaking month for us. And it looks like that's not going to be a one-off thing. It's going to get to be an average for us going forward this year, and that's all been possible because of this robust marketing machine that we set up. And to be honest, this time around at RepStack, sales department was the last department we just built out. We started building this department out somewhere in October. And right now we're not even fully funded on that side right now, but we have a SDR in place right now. It's just amazing to see this SDR come in and how she's booking appointments right now. And going back to those, we have partially qualified people, right? So who come on strategy sessions, they're not completely qualified to work with us right now. But now this SDR is going back and calling those people up. And we're seeing so many opportunities pop out of that just because we did it right with the sequence. Marketing first, sales after that, and then account management to make sure that you retain all the clients that you're bringing in.
Yeah, man, that makes perfect sense. I'm sure most of our people too would love to have 100 sales calls in any given month. And again, I got to ask you, when you look at what marketing channels those came from, what are kind of some of the top level things that are working for you guys?
Yeah. So like I said, that, the first bread and butter that we got early on was our joint ventures. We're still getting some of those joint ventures are still delivering, but I would say if we were booking 100 calls in a month, I would say about 20% of them are coming from our joint ventures now. So 80% of it is coming from our own marketing right now, and I'm extremely proud of that. And where they're coming from, a good bulk is coming from Facebook. We're doing a lot of Facebook, highly targeted Facebook, and then we have we have different lists that we're working with, and then so that's one of them. We're also doing outreach. A very sophisticated outreach, which a digital marketing agency, if they're going to be doing outreach, that's how it's supposed to be done. A 6-step email sequence with lots of cool information, very easy to digest and things like that. And then we connect all of these campaigns together with a really robust retargeting campaign. So you hit one of our links or our page, we got you everywhere. So, all of that stuff is good to go. And so, it's a combination. Our SEO is just starting to kick in right now. We're starting to land on first pages for the keywords that we wanted. So I think before the end of the year, and we're going to actually this year we invested in two industry events as well. The Ad World is coming up in October, and then there is the Traffic and Conversion Conference in San Francisco in September. So we're planning on attending both of them. So yeah, it's looking like we're here without doing any of these things right now, and we've got a few things planned this year in terms of marketing, which are huge. So we're just hoping that it's just going to continue at the same path.
Yeah, man, that's freaking awesome. Congratulations. Let's shift for a second. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about talent acquisition and training and how you guys place this kind of top shelf elite level virtual assistants at RepStack. I mean, obviously you guys have really figured something out.
Yeah, so so talent acquisition, and I'll be honest, when we first started out, and we've been lucky with the demand that it's always been there for us from day one, and it's been like our talent acquisition was really primitive at that time, and we've made a lot of mistakes over there. But that's one thing that we had to figure out really, really fast, because that's the product or the service we're providing. It has to be top notch. So so right now, that's I used to take over HR too, but now we have like an entire robust HR departments. They actually did 3 university booths this past week alone. We have a huge amount of applicants applying, and we only have one funnel for that, which is our careers page on our website, where they have to start out with a video ask interview. So video ask is a good tool for grabbing client reviews on. I've seen a lot of agency owners do that, but we kind of flipped it upside down, and we wanted to bring this talent in, but for us the communication was number one, and for our clients as well. So so that this video ask kind of gives us that window right there from the get-go of who we're calling back, and from there we have a 3 to 4 step process on the HR side. And then after the HR side, we have our RepStack Success Academy, where we're bringing these people in these 3 specific tracks: marketing assistant, sales assistant, and account manager. And they go through a minimum 4-week training inside our RepStack Success Academy before they're placed with a client. And what that allows us to do is that, we've gone through this rigorous HR process, but now we want to see you inside. We call our Zoom, one of our Zoom rooms is called the RSA Auditorium. And everybody who's part of Auditorium, usually we have 30 to 35 people at any given time in that batch. And those people are supposed to be in that room at all times, because at this point, we're really trying to check out their work ethic, man. So 9 to 5, you're going to be available. If I call on you, are you going to answer me right away? And if we start seeing red flags, they're out of there even before they get a chance to meet a client. And when we first started out, it was not like that. So so I think I'm extremely proud that we got amazing. And that's part of the reason where you kind of want to work with a service provider like RepStack, because we're taking care of all of these things on the back end. We understand our clientele, And by the time we onboard this person, there's a level of confidence that they're going to be able to do these tasks in this particular track.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Man, I love the auditorium on Zoom. That is freaking awesome. We've done a lot of things similar. We handle training very much the same way. We hire quickly, we vet very hard, but we still hire quickly, but we fire even faster. The auditorium is a great tip. I love that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's just when you're growing at the rate that we've been growing, these things you have to kind of there's ideas coming your way, and you have to move fast, and you have to fix things fast as well. So we saw an issue with work ethic. And we're like, no way, even though we had Time Doctor, we had all of these things, we had this, we started out with 1 week mandatory training. We increased it to 4 weeks now. So all of those things kind of came with trial and error and fast. So we fixed ourselves and we continued to move in that direction. And that's my recommendation to anyone that, when you guys are starting to grow, invest in your own marketing, invest in your own systems and processes. The amount of money that we're paying right now to some of these softwares like ClickUp, to Slack, to God knows how many other softwares right now. It's crazy, but you do invest in that instead of let's build out our own software. For God's sake, let's just focus on the task at hand, what we're supposed to do, not build out another software for yourself right now. Use what you got and continue to improve the service offering that you have.
That's beautiful, man. How do you think about training in your head? Because that your onboarding, your training, your hiring is going to be a major sunk cost, right? Every time you fire one of those, you don't place them, there's no money coming out the other side.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep your mind in check? Lots of people would be like in your shoes, like, man, like you're paying these people, they're training, like you're spending all these resources, getting them up to speed.
So that's a good question. On our side, I think based on what we talked about earlier on, I think this is a no-brainer for us because when a person starts out, especially on the associate side with RepStack, we're starting out with every single day's data point for them. You're a big data guy, Joe, and that's kind of my roadmap towards taking RepStack into a platform where this person has a data map of every single day that he's logged in through Time Doctor and every one of his clients. So God forbid if a client leaves, which they do, this person, we don't let this person go because this person has worked with a client for now 6 or 7 months or a year. And this person, as long as it's, we've checked out everything and everything is in the right direction, it's not their fault. They come back on a bench. And while on the bench, they continue to do some upgraded trainings and things like that. And now we're actually able to place this person really easily because now we have a track record for this person. We can go to our next client that, look, this is the best person. We've seen his 8 years of performance. He logged in 5 minutes late one time and he had a reason for that. So, So we're just starting out with this thing right now. So that's where we want to be. We want to be able to, let these people build their careers inside RepStack and, every single training they take, every time they log into work, every time they get a raise from their client, anything that happens, we have a record of that. And going forward, as years go by, we'll be able to get him more and more money, better healthcare plans, and better commission structures and things like that. So training and stuff like that, it's a no-brainer, man. We want to invest in it right from the get-go, and we want to continue to invest in it because our associate is really our resource that we're going out to the market with.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. And it makes sense to invest in them because the longer you keep them, the better they're going to be if you keep training them, right? And you'll be able to keep giving your clients better and better results and better people.
And that's the thing with all the agencies. Like, we've seen, some of these people, like I said, our client number one, this kid went from being an appointment setter to a sales executive right now inside of a year. And that's because, not only because he was doing his job, but big part of it was because the client saw that he's not just another VA. He's actually a part of the team, and they were fair in the compensations that they were giving out to their US based team. They decided to give the same compensation on the commission side to a person who's based outside of the US. And it turned out to be a great win. And this person is treated as a part of the team there. And they've invested a year and some months with this person, and they plan on him being there for years to come, right? So, and this person has gone and built a career inside this agency. In 2 years, 3 years, he might be a head of sales. And that's kind of the vision that I have for these people. When they come inside an organization, they may be starting out as a marketing assistant right now for you, but they help you turn that thing around, and they have the right aptitude for right leadership and things like that. These people could be running your departments for you with their own teams while you're sitting at a beach and sipping at that whatever that drink might be, right? So yeah, so that's kind of
whatever that frozen sugary sweet drink is. No, I love that. And that's my attitude, man. Like, when we find good people, we never let them go. Right. Like, I don't even like saying the word virtual assistant, because I feel like it just has like a negative connotation. Right.
Yeah.
You'll often hear me use different names, not virtual assistants, just because of that. And I've never called anybody on my team a virtual assistant, because I feel like sometimes they believe it's a negative connotation as well. I use different words, but at the end of the day, once you have the right person, it makes sense to invest in them, right, for the long term. So how do you cut bait, or how do you get rid of your risk on the front end when you're training somebody for a month, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys do? How do you get rid of people that aren't the right fit, right? While you're going hiring funnel, how do you your risk there?
Yeah, so we try to do all of that stuff on the front end as much as possible. But even then, you're going to make some mistakes. But I think we're moving in a direction right now. We were just finishing up this month. We were looking at a number today, a KPI that we track, which is how many of our people that the contracts that we signed and the associates that we onboarded last month, how many of them have successfully completed their first 30 days with the client. And we saw that number to be at 100%. And that was a beautiful number to look at, because it has not always been at 100%, right? And but the thing is that we're trying to cut that upfront so that we continue to have these strong numbers when these people are placed with the clients. And how we do that is by having a strong HR process first. HR as a department is responsible for the first, I believe, 1 week of this person going into the next department, which is our RepStack Success Academy. Over here, this person is enrolled for 30 days before they're even considered for a client. And over here, like, we're tracking lots of we're getting them to do DISC assessments. We're monitoring them in our auditorium on a daily basis. They're doing all these CRM trainings, high level, whichever ones they're putting through for the marketing assistant. Then the salesperson is doing their trainings, and so on and on. So, if we see any red flags, we see these people not logging in on time, we see these people not delivering on the quality that they promised us in HR, they're already out the door. So we want to see attrition, or we want to see it right over here in this first 5 weeks before they start hitting our clients. And if we've done our job good over here with client, the retention numbers are speaking for themselves right now. This month has been one of our best months on retention. We're close to 96%, which is close to digital marketing. We're on the HR side. If you compare yourselves with people, what they're doing on Upwork and Fiverr with the virtual assistants, those numbers are horrendous. And we're kind of matching the digital marketing agency retention ratios of 95% plus. So I'm really proud of that as well. But that happens because of these strong processes up front.
Yeah, beautiful. I love one thing that you said, and I just want to echo it back to make sure people got it, right? That HR is responsible for basically the first week of outcome inside of the Success Academy, That
Yeah.
is brilliant, because a lot of
And the
people,
Success Academy is held accountable for the first 30 days of that person going to a client now. So that's why the number that we were tracking, 100% of people who were onboarded in December completed their 30 days in January. That's tracked by our training academy because they're guaranteeing that this person is going to last at least 30 days when they go over to a client.
yeah, I love that. I feel like so many times HR and training are separate, and you have this big gap, right? And then because of that, there's a lot of financial risk because of it, and a lot of blowout or lack of retention
Yeah.
because of it. So I like how you really made those two departments, if you will, work together.
Yeah, and hold each other accountable. Sometimes, things are moving so fast, and sometimes our teams grow really fast. And, we want to be the great leaders. But that doesn't mean that, you don't call how it is, man. That's really important. And sometimes, you kind of enjoy this like a work family. You guys are spending so much time there. It feels bad to, some people you really, really like, enjoy working with, and if
Yep.
they're not performing, you might be overlooking that. So my suggestion there would be to call it as it is, man. You're going to save yourself a lot of headache and money.
Yeah, completely agreed. So it's only been what, like 2 years at RepStack, and you guys have grown to like almost 200 people in staff. What would
Yeah.
you say, like if we zoom out? We talked about a lot today. You gave us a ton of takeaways, but what would you say is like the 80-20 to RepStack's growth? Or like even if we apply 80-20 to itself, right?
Yeah.
That's 64-4. Like what is the top couple of things? I want to make sure that we really got
Yeah.
the essence of your guys' explosive growth.
So getting started, it was definitely 100% of our business was from our joint ventures that we signed early on.
Hmm.
So that's really good. Like if you can think of joint ventures and if you can land one, even if it's not at the best pricing right now, it's going to give you that client base. We have a huge list of case studies already inside. We've been operating for 16 months, this business, not even 2 years right now. And so that was 100%. But once that started working, we weren't afraid to put that money back into the company and really build out our marketing department. And because we were always worried that what's going to happen if this joint venture goes away tomorrow, right? Because it's just a relationship, one-on-one, and it could happen, right? So I was always constantly worried. And that's why, for me, the most important thing was to get that marketing going as soon as we have the social proof. We have close to 100 client testimonials already. We have so many different things going for us. We'd be stupid not to do this for ourselves. And we started focusing on that from last February. And the proof is in the pudding that only 20% of our new customers are coming from our joint ventures right now. 80% of them are coming in from our own marketing, and that too at a price point of $14 an hour, which is it's I believe $2,300 a month contract, about $26,000 a year contract. So I'm extremely proud of that. And that's the lesson there, that once you do get that opportunity to grow really fast, put that money back in and solidify your marketing department as soon as possible. And then we also have to invest on our service as well, right? Our operations is bulletproof right now. Our customer service reps, client success reps, who are taking care of our clients and things like that. We invested in that. We implemented ClickUp across the board. We got the best tools in the industry for our HR. We're using cutting edge tools, like I said, Video Ask, people may not be using that, especially in the country we're operating in. So we continue to invest in it, and things continue to move fast and even faster to this day.
That's awesome, man. So if somebody wants to work with you guys, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
Just our website, repstack.co. And
Okay.
there's a link for to book a discovery call there. There's a whole bunch of client case studies on there. And in the notes, just mention Mr. Troyer sent you, and we'll make sure that we thank you, Troy, for that. Mr. Troy, for that. So yeah, that's easy, man. Just repstack.co, everything is on there, and you can easily book a discovery call from there.
Perfect. I know I definitely want to connect with you guys about a position or two in a company that I have. So we'll have to talk about that offline. In wrapping this up, I always ask people like one question. I'm a voracious reader, but I hate more than anything wasting my time. Like if you ask me like what my pet peeve is, it's that. Like nothing's worse for me than like picking up a book and I just can't get into it and it's
Yeah,
sluggish. And then like I
yeah,
forced myself to read it. And finally I gave myself like the blessing that if I don't like a book, like within the first two chapters, I'm just but it annoys me. But I love books. So I always ask my guests, right? They're all from different walks of life and have all different experiences. Instead of asking you to recommend three books, like man, like as you look at your life, as you look at your business, as you look at all the crazy things that you guys have accomplished in this short amount of time, like what's the one book that you think has made the biggest impact and why?
so that's a good question, man. And I'm kind of new to this self-learning, but I think that has played a huge part in how everything, this breakthrough for RepStack came about, about 3 years ago. And, for me, um, reading has been, I don't know what I have, but, just reading that book is not for me. But I found listening to books really work for me. And about three years ago, I got myself an Audible membership, and so I can't really pinpoint to just that one particular book, but I'll quickly give you these three best books that I really enjoyed over the
Sure.
last few years. But even before going into that, Joe, I think the important thing here is as entrepreneurs and as people who are wanting to build something remarkable, uh, the voracious appetite for learning, right? So as you build that up, there's going to be things that are going to, because me finding a coach came out of this, reading, because I read Josh Nelson's book, Seven Figure Agency Roadmap. I called
Yep.
him up and move from step to step. So over the last 3 years, I think I just put this down in chat for you as well. I've read 50 plus books, which may not be a lot for it is for me for sure, but 300 plus podcast episodes as well. And one that I really enjoy is Guy Raz's How I Built This. It's an NPR podcast. I really enjoyed that one too. But on the book side, I like learning from other people's lives. So I'm kind of like into biographies and sometimes autobiographies as well. And so, the one I put down at the top of my list is The Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. I really, really enjoyed it. Something that I recently read is Whale by Will Smith, really good. And this last one that I put down is How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but it's a bestseller. It's by a Pakistani American and British author, Mohsin Hamid. And it's a beautiful book. It's disguised as a self-help book. It's really a novel, but all of us entrepreneurs need that visionary kickstart or jumpstart from time to time. And reading that book, it did exactly that for me about 3 years ago. It put me in a place of this person, and the book took me. I couldn't put that book down, man. Just like what you said, I just wanted to. And this was one of those. I was still reading books at that time, and I finished this book in less than a week. And it's a beautiful novel. I highly recommend you guys check it out. But that's kind of my story on learning, man. The more you learn, the faster the success comes, I think. So better get into it as soon as possible.
Love it, man. I'm excited about your recommendations too. So I just finished The Shoe Dog, and man, it was so good. I feel like probably one of the best like hero's journey books
Hmm.
I've ever went through ever. You also talked about Audible, and yeah, that's been key for me. Like I'm big in the gym, big in fitness, and I'm at the gym working out or running or doing lunges
Hmm.
in a sauna like probably for like 90 minutes to 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Audible becomes very easy, and I don't listen to it every day. There's sessions where I don't want to listen to anything, or I'll listen to something else. But I think, yeah, Audible's a way to get through a lot of content really, really fast.
I agree, man. It's been groundbreaking for me for sure. Like all my breakthroughs have come when I actively started listening to books and these podcasts and learning. And so I highly recommend whatever it is. If it's reading, if it's listening, whatever works for you, just get it done.
And then your other two recommendations, Will by Will Smith has been on my list. So that'll have to become a reality. And How to Get Filthy Rich in Raising Asia or Rising Asia. I haven't heard of that one actually. So that'll be on my list. So thank you for those two endorsements. I appreciate that.
No worries, man. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me today, Joe.
One last tip for everybody. There's an app called Hoopla, and I'm apparently way behind the scenes on this one, or way behind the eight ball. But Hoopla lets you connect your local library's inventory and licensing, and you can get almost every book, about probably 75% of the books on Audible that cost like $10, $12 a piece, are on Hoopla for free with a free library membership. So definitely check that out. If you're a voracious, not reader, listener like I am, and you're doing it 2 hours a day, you're going to plow through credits, and Audible's going to get really expensive. It's not that big of a deal when it's $20 a month, but when you start spending $20 a day or every other day, it gets out of control fast. So definitely Hoopla, Hoopla, great little app. Download. You can do everything just like Audible.
Yeah, I just slacked myself that name, so.
Awesome, brother. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know everybody, I'm sure, got a ton of value out of today. Guys, go follow Azhar. Keep up with RepStack. They're doing some really, really cool things. A company to look out for. I love their vision as well for the future and where they're going. And I'm excited, and I'll be here watching the journey. Hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Azhar, thank you so much, man. Joe Troy.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Thanks for tuning in to Show Me the Nuggets. If you've been enjoying the podcast and find our content helpful, please visit our Apple Podcast page, hit the subscribe button, and leave us a review. Joe and the whole team have been working hard to bring more value to the show. Your feedback will go a long way in helping us make the show better and reach a wider audience.